Chad Smith from the little band called the Chili Peppers.
The little band, yeah. The
little band,
yeah.
little tiny band that won't do much.
It just did amazing work, by the way. Just real quick, I want to give a shout out to Chad on the Aussie stuff that he did.
Dude.
I mean, you know the guy's an incredible drummer, obviously, but I never heard him play hard rock. Not like that.
Dude, he's on the Dixie Chicks records too. The last few. I mean,
shit! I didn't even realize that.
I didn't either. Till my buddy that's now getting ready to play with her said that those girls that, Chad Smith's on the last 3 records. I'm like, what? Like he's one of those dudes. Such a chameleon and just a hell of a nice guy. He's like, I call those guys lifers. Like he's like myself, and just this is what we want to do. This is all we do.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart in too many other fields. So
you're selling yourself short there, I think. But let's get back to this.
I'm a brainiac at everything. Yeah.
Well, coffee. Drums.
How to count to 4 and get the band.
Isn't that the old joke? Like if you could count to 4, you could play drums. I always found that funny. But I digress. Let's get back to that Chad Smith story when you're in.
So anyway. Chad, there's a thing in MI orientation where they say, hey, stand up, say hi to the person next to you. You don't know them, because you don't know anyone. And I stood up, and this guy went that way, and this guy went that way, and it was like, shit. And I look over, and I see this guy in the same situation. He goes, hey, man, I'm Chad. And I go, hey, I'm Ray, and he goes, you want to get a cymbal locker? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we get a cymbal locker together, and he sat down, he played, he's push, push. I'm like, dang, man, he's got a fat groove. That sounds really good. And so he goes, what are you into? And I hooked up my double pedal because I was all about like just how fast could I play double bass at that time. And he's like, man, that's cool. And so anyway, we go to this funk class, and it's called Live Playing Workshop. And Taka Numazawa was the teacher, and Chad sits down, and he's super funky, and the bass player's like, wow, this dude, like, right? I sit down, I'm like, I'm like playing fills all over this shit. ruining it, right? And the teacher goes to Chad, you should be in clubs. You should be out there playing. I go, what about me? He goes, you need a metronome. And I was like, shit. Like, what do you mean? Like, did you hear that fill I did? I was sick, man. I was just killing it. So I got my ass handed to me because, like, I didn't realize that, I didn't have any instruction per that. I was in the high school marching band. I was in high school stuff, but that's not really... You learn mild stuff, but you're not like educated,
Yeah.
And so the Chad story is he left right away within, I think, a week or two and said, hey, I got an audition for this band called Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? And he's like, and I swear to God, I go, what about school? Because like we're new students here. We gotta go to school, man. And then I never saw him. And then he come back like a couple years later. That's when Mother's Milk was.
Holy shit, man!
That was very short lived. That his didn't get
this time in MI. Yeah.
Yeah.